What's going on, everybody? Welcome in for another video. Today, after going through the uniques in the Arthurian Legends set, I wanted to go through the elite cards. So once again, I'm on Curiosa.io. They have all the cards in their database there with pictures, and you can click into their rulings. So we'll just get into it. First is Arcane Barrage. You can cast it for any cost, and it's 3 air threshold, and it's shoot X projectiles in the same direction one at a time. Each deals 1 damage. You can obviously pay any amount for X. The more mana, the better. You can combo that, I believe, with Poisonous Dagger, and shooting that off of a spellcaster, you're killing whatever in its path for 1 damage, and then those projectiles are going to continue on their path. So let's say if there's something in the way of the avatar, you're going to get rid of whatever's in the way and hit their avatar. Next is a new avatar that came out in the set, Archimago. He's 20 life like all the other ones. He has 1 attack and tap and player draw a sight. And his effect is not a tap effect, which is good. It's banish 3 magic spells in your cemetery, and if you do that, you cast a copy of one of them. This is pretty cool. You do have to pay for the cast. It's not just banish and get a free spell, but I think this card could be very good. I haven't honestly done much testing with him. I did build a deck around it, but I haven't got a chance to play it. I got kind of stuck on playing the Witch and doing a couple different Witch decks, but I think he can be very good. If you can get the orb out and you're copying a spell before it goes to the cemetery, and then build up your cemetery, you're doing a lot of direct damage. Ball Lightning is 5 and 2 air. Shoot a projectile. It deals 4 damage on impact, then changes direction. Its next impact deals 2, then it changes direction. Its final impact deals 1. I don't really know what to think of this card. I was watching a video the other day where I guess if you cast this on a site with multiple enemies or minions on it, it's just going to ping around on the same site. I'm going to have to check the ruling on that, because that does not seem correct. Because if there's multiple minions, like let's say there's one to the left, one to the right, and a couple on the site that you cast it on, I think it could have the option to go left and right. So I know that the league is starting up, and I'm sure they'll dive into the rules on that. But I'm not really too sure what to think about that one yet. Brother Knight is 4 and 2 fire threshold. He's a 3/2. He has a Genesis effect of you may search your spellbook for another Brother Knight and summon it here, shuffle if needed. That seems pretty cool. Very good, actually. For a 4 cost, you're going to get 2 out on the battlefield. It's going to thin your deck. It's important with the new deck sizes right now. I'm going to have to look into that one. That seems pretty good. Castles Ablaze, 3 and 2 fire. Conjure atop an elite or unique site. At the start of your turn, destroy this site and minions atop it, and Castles Ablaze. So this is more site destruction. I like this card a lot. It's going to take out one of their important, elite or unique sites. The catch with this card is that you got to get it to stick around, because it's got to live through their turn as well. So if they're running Earth, you can probably assume that they are running Common Sense, and they're going to run and go get their Dispel if they have the mana to do that 4 mana turn. Then they're going to take it out before it gets to destroy it. And then it's also going to, if it does pop off, they're likely going to move their minions and attack anyway, but at least you're taking their mana away. I did see a good combo with this with Babbling Brook, to where if you can get it to stick, you can make them disabled, and then either they're going to have to go get their Dispel or Disenchant, or their minions and that site are just going to get blown up. Next, we'll click into this one so we can see it better. Cursed Land. I love this card, love the art. Whenever another site is played nearby, its controller loses 2 life. Pretty straightforward there. It's going to make your opponents think just a little bit more about where they're going to play their sites. And it also pings you as well. So you can kind of deter their plan. And then if you have a little bit of life gain on your side, you can play your stuff wherever you want and, go from there. Druid, which is weird that it's an elite when it's in the box topper. Tap, play or draw a site. If you played a site and you don't control Tawny, summon her there. She's a spellcaster bird. She's flying and she's a spellcaster, so you're going to get a free 1/1. And then later down the road, if you want to just tap and summon Bruin, it's a big 4 bear, and that's pretty cool. And then once you summon Bruin, you flip the card, and then you get this awesome artwork here. Still has the tap, play, draw site effect. And then whenever an enemy enters a nearby site, it takes 1 damage. I believe people are running this with Drums of Doom, and I guess this damage makes it lethal, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, I've gotten stuck on my witch decks. I have a druid deck built. I'm getting ready to build another druid water deck soon. And this card seems really cool. I really like the effect with the tokens that came with it, and it's super cool that it came in the box topper. Next is a 3-cost Golden Harp. Strike damage and life loss cost by nearby units is reduced by 2. So it's a good way to reduce damage on, some minions that are beefy on the other side. Goswit Helmet, 3-cost. If a bear would take strike damage, prevent it and return this helmet to hand. So it's kind of like a 3-cost reverse trinket. Where if you're going to take strike damage from, I guess, like a grapple shot or something like that, you're not going to be affected, and this is going to save you. 5 and 3 Earth, Grand Old Boar. He's a 5. He has charge if there's dead squeakers. I know there's, the pig deck running around. It seems pretty cool. This art is absolutely awesome. I just don't know how viable the squeaker deck is in the meta right now, or at all. I mean, it's probably a fun deck to play. That card just looks awesome, though. Grim Guizarm, 3-cost. Bear takes and deals double strike damage. So again, like if you got some big guy, throwing out a grapple shot, and he's hitting for a lot, you're going to double it. That's pretty cool. 6 and 2 Earth is Guards. I absolutely love this card. It can save a game. It can, just get out a bunch of blockers or attackers. It's summon a foot soldier token to each site near your avatar. It's a 6-cost, so you're likely going to be playing it later. And you're going to get a ton of guards. And if you can move them up, you're going to get 9 guards if it's way late in the game. Horn of Carleon, 4-cost. Nearby minions have charge. This is a great card. Getting the immediate attack effect from your minions is always good. Next is Invasion, 6-cost, 2 fire. At the end of your turn, summon a foot soldier token to each affected enemy site with no units. Last 3 of your turns. So it's kind of like a countdown, like Thunderstorm, where you're getting free tokens essentially for 3 turns, just as long as there's no units there. It seems kind of clunky. I'm sure this could be good. I don't really see this being too popular yet. Kelp Cavern is awesome. Genesis, look at the bottom 3 spells, put 1 on the top of your spell book. So in the beginning of the game, if you mulligan a card that you really didn't want to, but you needed to, and you're likely not going to see the bottom of your deck again. You might have some mermaids. You might have some other way to, draw off the bottom of your deck. But Kelp Cavern, just even if you didn't mulligan, it helps you put something at the top of your deck, and you get to look at your deck. The bottom 3 cards. So that's very good. We have King's Council, 3 and 2 air. Draw a card for each unique ally. It's going to be tough. I know there's a lot of unique knights that are going to be running around, and later in the games with the build up, some uniques will hit the field. But with the rarity system, this is a tough card. Love Potion for 6. I really thought this would be a lot more of a thing, but I guess the cost is scaring people away. Bear has sacrificed Love Potion, gain control of target enemy minion here until this unit leaves the realm. So you're going to give this to your avatar because they're not going to leave the realm, and you're going to take control of an enemy minion. And that's permanent. So I thought that it would be more of a thing, but I guess it's not. Maybe in the future. Major City, elite minions cost 1 less to cast to the site. Again, I know I said it a lot in the last video, and I'm kind of starting to sound like a broken record on this one. This is going to be, based on the rarity system again, and it doesn't give you threshold. It's a beautiful card to look at. I don't see it being a factor. Mester Storeworm, 6 and 3 water, 7 attack, 7 health, submerge and waterbound. Tap, choose a direction from Mester Storeworm, deal lethal damage to each unit at a location in the area of effect. So if you choose not to hit for 7, you can just tap where you're at, and you can kill things on 4 sites. That's very good. Very, very good card. 4 and 2 fire for Monstrous Lion for a 4 attack and health. He has charge, but he cannot attack sites. I was kind of iffy on this card in the beginning. The art, leaves a little bit more to be desired. But if you're playing this card the right way, you're going to summon and sphere it, or you're going to jihad it. And if you jihad it, he's going to hit for 5, and you're just going to attack their avatar, and the avatar is going to hit back, and it's not going to kill the lion. Just because he can't hit sites doesn't mean he can't smack the avatar. It's a good card. I really like it a lot. 3 and 2 earth for Overbearing Bailiff. He has 0, but if he's in your back row and there's no royalty around to yell at him, he has +7. If you have this with the Fail Not bow, I think he'll have range 3. You can reach all the way across the realm for 7. Or if you combo this with, let's say, Magellan Globe, he can just tap backwards and hit that way, and he wouldn't even need the reach. You could just give him something else to give him a little bit of range. I think it's an okay card. Pendragon Banner. 4 cost, nearby allies have +1 power while there are no enemies here. That's an okay card. I don't see it being too important. Perilous Bridge. This is going to be going in probably some Avatar of Air decks. Units cannot traverse the site's top border on the ground, so it's kind of like another Great Wall. That's a good card. Postern Gate. This is a funny one because it enters the realm under an opponent's control. And if you look at the art, it's kind of like a dude going in, sneaking in the back door. I think what you do, you play this card, and let's say you're stacked up and you have like some sort of combo deck, and you see this, which it's an elite. So once again, rarity system, you got to see it to be able to play it. With the increased site decks now, you're going to play it, and then you're going to attack the site. You're going in the back door, you're attacking you're sneaking in, and then they're going to get the mana on the next turn because you didn't get the mana. I think it's an okay card. I'm sure that there's something else that can be done with it. So yeah. Ribble Bogart, 3 and a water for a 3. At the start of your turn, he gains a random mutation until the end of the turn. Airborne, ranged, lethal, or +3 power. I think this is a good card. 3 cost and 3 already is good. If you manage to get the +3, you're hitting for 6. If he gets airborne, he can go diagonal. It's a good card. Salmon of Knowledge for 3 and 2 water. He's a 0. You're going to submerge him. He has to be on water with Waterbound, and you're going to mainly use him as a draw engine. So you could have 2 of these in your deck. As long as you're good at rolling 14 plus, you're going to banish the fish, and you're going to draw 3 spells. I think it's very good. Sealy Court, 6 and 2 water for a 5. At the start of your turn, players draw a spell for each fairy in the realm. I really like this card. You could use this in a reverse mill deck to where you're drawing and your opponent's drawing. If you are overwhelming them with fairies, the non-active player draws first. So if you're decking them out, or it's a long game, and let's say like 2 of these hit the battlefield, and they got to draw a bunch, they're going to draw first. And if they deck out, you win. And on top of it, it's a 5 cost. So yeah, I really like that card. Shapeshift, 4 and 2 water. An allied minion tries to transform. Look at your next 5 spells. You may choose a minion among them to be the new form. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. There's probably nothing better in a water deck than looking at your next 5 and transforming something silly into the great old one. This card, it can whiff, but with rivers and stuff like that, you can shape the top of your deck and guarantee that you're going to hit something. But I think that's a very good card. 5 and 2 earth for Spear Marshal. He's a 3. Once on your turn, Spear Marshal may acquire a Lance token. So he's just gonna, I guess, make Lance tokens. That's pretty cool. I guess that's what it means by acquire. I'm not sure. Once again, I'll have to check the rulings on that one. Yeah, he's okay. Sylvan Splendor for 4 and 2 water. Whenever you cast a beast or fairy to an affected site, draw a spell. Dispel if an affected site is successfully attacked. With the fairy decks are good right now. Beasts are comboing. There's an infinite combo with this as well that you can do, and you can just draw out your deck and plan an attack and win before you want to deck out. Templar, play and draw a site. This is another one of the box toppers. The first knight, sir, or dame you cast each turn cost 1 less. I think it's okay. The only other caveat to this one is that he hits for 2, so 1 less than Battle Mage. I guess if you get him to start attacking, he's okay. The Wild Hunt is 6 and 3 air for a 5. Airborne, and this is a spirit and a fairy. Other nearby spirits and fairies have charge. That's pretty cool. It kind of sucks that this one doesn't have charge, but I guess if you evil presence it, you can get charge with it being a spirit. The threshold shouldn't matter with the 6 cost. I think it's a good card. Thundering Giant. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've not really been mentioning the sealed aspect of these cards. I'm kind of more thinking, constructed. But Thundering Giant did so much work for me in a sealed event. This is such a good card. For 6 and 2 air, he's doing 4 damage and 4 health. It has charge. And then once on your turn, Thundering Giant may teleport to another nearby location, and then you tap all of their units there on arrival. So what you could do, you play him, he has charge. You can teleport him first, tap everything there, then attack. It's so good. Such a good card. 6 and 2 air for Unseelie Court. This is the reverse of Sealy Court. Both players are going to discard. spell for each fairy in the realm at the start of the player's owner of the card. At the start of their turn, both players discard for each fairy in the realm. I like this a lot. I swapped it out. I actually reversed this with Sealy Court in my deck. I love the art on the card. I'm just going to try something with Sealy Court instead of the discard thing. Valley of Delight is very good. Genesis, choose one of any threshold. This site provides that permanently. With multi-element decks right now, people are trying to run 3, I think. I haven't seen too many 4 other than like the wedding decks and stuff like that. But with Threshold being so important, this is a great card. Valor is the only other new quick magic. It's 0. You just need 2 Earth Threshold. It may be cast when an ally defends a site or another unit. The ally gains +4 power this turn. So it's a very good defensive buff. It is a little clunky because they can probably attack elsewhere. Your opponents are pretty smart so far with who I play with in Sorcery. But this can come in handy if the opportunity comes up. Varmint Warrens. Beast here can't be targeted by enemies. That's good. There's a beast deck going around. That's a very good card. And Earth Threshold. Earth wins again. Vengeful Heir. 3 and 2 fire for a 1. As an additional cost to this, you may banish a dead knight, sir, or dame. If you do, Vengeful Heir is summoned as a copy of that minion. So if you're running a knight's deck, this is a great card. I'm not sure what I think about that card, to be honest. I think it's decent. Here's the Wedding Hall. Provides no mana, but if Arthur and Guinevere start your turn here, you win. So it's a cool win con card. It's elite with it being a win con. You're probably gonna have to seer through your sites or crossroads to it, and there's a lot of site destruction. So I mean it's gonna be a big target once it comes out, or they're just gonna do what they can to remove Arthur and Guinevere. Wizard's Den is probably one of my other favorite cards in the set. Probably my favorite site. Genesis, draw a spell, discard a spell when the site is first attacked successfully. You're getting an immediate effect with drawing the card, and then sometimes you are going to throw away a card that you don't mind throwing away. Like, let's say if you play this in a crazy spot early in the game and it gets attacked right away, and let's say you're running a Spirits deck, let's throw away Lord of the Void. Let's throw away Ultimate Horror, and let's bring him back with Ghost Ship. This is a great card. And it looks like the last one is Wolpertinger. He is 4 and 2 Earth for a 0, but he has +1 power for each of your dead beasts. I know there's a deck around that's filling up the cemetery with dead beasts, and I've seen Wolpertinger hit for a ton. So that's a cool card. He doesn't have charge or anything, so you do got to keep him alive. He's subject to removal, but if you can get him to hit the next turn, he's gonna hit hard, and the art is pretty neat. So there we have it. Arthurian Legends Elites, not as many as Beta, obviously, but a ton of new, good, playable cards. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to probably do the Exceptional soon, and I'll probably just go ahead and round out the set and do the Ordinaries as well. And that way, I know we have a ton of new players right now. I think the online league has 50 more than the last season. So that's a great sign for the game. So any chance to tell new players about some of these new cards and to direct them to Curiosa.io, where they can find these cards. You can find the beta cards And you can find tons of deck lists to build in real life. If you have the cards, you can copy and paste them and play them on Tabletop Simulator and get practicing before you play in person. So yeah, once again, thanks for watching. Remember to like, and I'll see you next time.